Hey there, and welcome to Snubbed number 6. The movie I watched this time was Scarface from 1932. And I found this on the Internet Archive for free, available on YouTube as well to rent. Probably other options as well to rent. But I like the free. This is from 1932. And based on the release date, it would have competed with the 1931 to 32 Oscars, which was the fifth ceremony. The winner of which was Grand Hotel. There was also Aerosmith, Bad Girl, 5-Star Final, 1 Hour with You, Shanghai Express, The Champ, and The Smiling Lieutenant. And I think I liked, out of that group, I liked The Champ the best, I believe. 5-Star Final was pretty good as well. And I think Grand Hotel, the winner, was pretty good too. Some decent movies in the lineup. There were a few that 1 Hour with You and Smiling Lieutenant I did not like at all. So it's hard to say there were 8 movies nominated that year, but this wasn't one of them. And I don't know that they really had rules as far as numbers back then. So, maybe this was snubbed, maybe it wasn't. But it was pretty good. And I could see it. I could see that it could have been nominated. It would have competed well against this. Was it better than Grand Hotel? Maybe. That one was with Barrymores and Wallace Beery. I really, really like The Champ a lot from this year. So I think I would still pick that one over this one. But overall, this was pretty good. And the lead actor was Paul Mooney. I'm not sure how you say his name. And in the next year's Oscars, 32 to 33, he was in my favorite movie from that year, which was I'm a Fugitive from a Chain Gang. That was the first movie in this watch through that I was like, I would actually watch that one again. And he was really good in it. In this one, he was, I don't know, he was sort of like Italian American, and sometimes he had sort of a thicker Italian accent. Sometimes it was just sort of more like New York gangster type accent. So it sort of fluctuated in and out, but acting was pretty good all around, and story was good. It had a disclaimer at the beginning. Not disclaimer, but it kind of said like this movie is made in protest of the organized crime, and the government's not doing anything about it. And what is the government going to do? And what are you going to do? I'm paraphrasing. But so it was interesting in that regard. And they said it was based on some real events. So I like this one. And I'm kind of doing things in reverse this time. I sort of gave my review there, and now I'll do some background on it. But yeah, overall pretty good. So this Scarface, also known as Scarface, The Shame of the Nation and The Shame of a Nation, is a 1932 American pre-code gangster film directed by Howard Hawks and produced by Hawks and Howard Hughes. Screenplay by Ben Hecht is based loosely on the novel first published in 1930 by Armitage Trail, which was inspired by Al Capone. Film stars Paul Muni as Italian immigrant gangster Antonio Tony Camonte, who violently rises through the Chicago gangland with a supporting cast that includes George Raft and Boris Karloff. Camonte's rise to power dovetails with his relentless pursuit of his boss's mistress, while his own sister pursues his best hitman. In an overt tie to the life of Capone, a version of the St. Valentine's Day Massacre is depicted. After purchasing the rights to Trail's novel, Hughes quickly selected Hawks to direct and Hecht to write the film's screenplay. Beginning in January 1931, Hecht wrote the script over an 11-day period. Scarface was produced before the introduction of the Production Code in 1934, which enforced regulations on film content. However, the Hays Code, a more lenient precursor, called for major alterations, including a prologue condemning gangsters and an alternate ending to more clearly reprehend Camonte, and the alternative title, The Shame of a Nation. The censors believed the film glorified crime and violence. These changes delayed the film by a year, though some showings retained the original ending. Modern showings of the film have the original ending, though some DVD releases also include the alternate ending as a feature. These versions maintain the changes Hughes and Hawks were required to make for approval by the Hayes office. No completely unaltered version was known to exist until the limited edition set of Scarface 1983 was released on October 15, 2019. Audience reception was positive, but censors banned the film in several cities and states, forcing Hughes to remove it from circulation and store it in his vault. The rights to the film were recovered after Hughes' death in the 1970s, alongside Little Caesar and The Public Enemy, both 1931. Scarface is regarded as one of the most significant and influential gangster films. It was added to the National Film Registry in 1994. In 2008, the American Film Institute listed Scarface as the sixth best gangster film. It was remade as the 1983 film of the same title, starring Al Pacino. Starred Paul Muni and Dvorak, Osgood Perkins, Karen Morley, George Draft, Boris Karloff. I wouldn't say starring Boris Karloff. He was in like 2 scenes, maybe 3. Ties to Capone, both the film and novel are loosely based on the life of gangster Al Capone, whose nickname was Scarface. The names of characters and locations were changed only minimally. Capone became Comante, Torrio became Lovo, and Moran became Doran. In some early scripts, Colosimo was Colissimo, and O'Banion was Bannon. The names were changed to Castillo and O'Hara, respectively. This, including the alterations made to characters and other identifying locations to maintain anonymity, were due to censorship and Hawk's concern about the overuse of historical details. There's a lot of details in the Wikipedia here, and I'm not going to go through them all. That would be silly. So, anyway, this one was pretty good. I could see this. Definitely, I would have put this over several of the movies that were nominated in this year of films. Smiling Lieutenant, 1 Hour with You for sure. So, was it the best one? Or would it have taken Best Picture? Maybe not. Probably the violence turned people off, and that may be why it didn't get nominated. But I mean, the violence, you watch it now and it's kind of silly. Like, people get shot and there's no blood. There's no, not even a bullet hole or anything in their clothes. It's just, they just go, ooh, and then they fall over. Sometimes it takes them a while to die and there's still no blood or anything. So, not that I am expecting there should be from back then. I'm just saying, like, compared to now, the violence is very tame. But back then, it would have been harsh to watch people being gunned down. And they did stuff in a lot of creative ways. A lot of the shots were, done in shadows. There was a scene where, right at the beginning, where you see a guy come around the corner and you see him through a window, or like a shadow through a window, and he shoots somebody. And then later they had like 7 guys lined up and they shot them down with Tommy guns, but all you saw was their shadows and then the bullet holes appearing in the wall. So there was a lot of really cool shots in it. And the way that they sort of handled that stuff was done well. So it's a good one. I'm going to leave it there, try to keep it a little short, and I'll see you next time.